Musa. I'm a structural engineer, and my colleague Raul Brito, industrial engineer. Today, we combined our knowledge and expertise to present for you urban sustainability and the iconic project of urban sustainability, Masdar City, and how Ephesus played a critical role to achieve the sustainability. But before we start, I just want you to imagine a child is born where having a clean water is a luxurious thing. This is the case for millions nowadays. But together, we can change this narrative by endorsing sustainability. Now, my colleague Raul will tell us more about urban sustainability and its importance.
So, as Johnny said, today's topic is Masdar City and the evolution of urban sustainability. Masdar City has played a crucial role in sustainable innovation, and we thought it would be nice to see how they use urban sustainability in their favor. But what is urban sustainability? It is a concept that's been evolving for the last 40 years or so, and it's been evolving and growing alongside concerns for climate change, resource depletion, maldistribution around the world, and also the negative impacts of rapid urbanization. This concept was first introduced in 1987 in the Brundtland Report, published by the WCED, which is the World Commission on Environment and Development. They defined urban sustainability as urban planning strategies and principles to develop and enhance cities in ways that preserve resources for future generations. And this concept was built upon three main pillars. The first one being environmental sustainability, which is basically managing resource consumption with minimal environmental impact. This could be achieved through, for example, managing pollution, protecting ecosystems, reducing carbon emissions. The second pillar would be economic sustainability, which is ensuring an efficient use of resources with economic benefits by promoting innovation and sustainable growth, which means working towards economic growth, creating jobs while having in mind that we need to take really good care of our resources for us not to deplete them. The third pillar would be social sustainability, also really important. It can be achieved by, for example, promoting efforts to reduce poverty and, for example, having or making sure that everyone has access to healthcare and education. Urban sustainability has its problems, of course. It can be said that the main challenges for urban sustainability are also the reasons for us to invest in it, because if we don't address these challenges face to face, urban sustainability won't be as effective, meaning that we should use these problems and these sustainabilities as a way to guide the development that we want to obtain. These problems can be, for example, rapid growth of urban and suburban areas, which can cause overcrowding, poor house construction, and a lack of resources, which can lead to waste disposal and sanitation problems. Which can cause illnesses and possibly death as well. Also, a big problem is that most of our cities have outdated infrastructures, meaning that it can be really difficult and also costly to renew and modify towards sustainability. This can be tied to economic and political restrictions, mainly in poor regions or areas where governments have small or limited budgets, where these governments tend to prioritize decisions that have a financial return in the short term rather than in the long term, even if it means being unsustainable. Of course, there are a lot of projects that are trying to face these challenges. One good example of it is the Masdar City that is located in Abu Dhabi, and it was created with the purpose of being the most eco-friendly and energy efficient city in the world, while also being a sort of a proving ground or a test bed for sustainable innovation. It was created in 2006 by the Abu Dhabi government with the Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company, also known as Masdar. And it was planned to have about 6 square kilometers of land, housing up to 50,000 residents and 1,500 businesses. As of 2023, it has about 15,000 people living there, which shows its growth over the years. And also they have a lot of new projects coming with new offices and new labs for research and new residential areas. Masdar City is divided into areas of residence, commerce, research, education, and recreation. And all of these areas are made and designed to optimize thermal comfort, maximize energy, minimize waste, and reduce carbon emissions. But what are these sustainable design principles? For example, the city's plans focuses on creating compact and walkable neighborhoods where everything is close together and there only walking and cycling is allowed, so it becomes a car-free zone, which reduces the carbon emissions with minimal environmental impact. Although technology is really important to create sustainable places, Masdar City tends to focus a bit more on design and architecture. They use a traditional Arabic design mixed with some modern technology. They use what is called passive design, which works together with the environment, meaning that every single aspect of the city is made to deal with its climate. And as we know, Abu Dhabi is a hot climate. So a good example of how they deal with this hot climate is, for example, the downtown area was raised and oriented to receive the desert winds that were then funneled through narrow streets, making the area feel like 10 degrees colder. Also, a good example is here on the image on the right. We have the Masdar headquarters, where you can see some design choices. For example, the wind cones at the top to funnel the air. We can see a lot of empty spaces for the air to move around, creating some natural ventilation. And we can see a lot of spaces that are totally roofed, providing shading from the sun. In terms of renewable energy and efficiency, they rely heavily on solar power, having most of their solar panels outside of the city, and it provides, I would say, almost of the clean energy to Masdar. In terms of energy efficiency of the buildings, they were built to minimize solar gain by having an optimal window to facade ratio, airtight envelopes, meaning that the hot air can't go in the building. And this combined with a good insulation makes them use less energy intensive air conditioning, making them reduce the energy consumption by about 40%. Now I'll pass the word to Johnny.
Yes, regarding the water and wastewater management. Regarding the sewage water, they did the process the same that is followed by astronauts in the outer space. So they collect all the sewage water, they store it in a place where then they cycle it up to remove all the solid waste. After this, they will be remade with the liquid waste. This liquid waste, they let it pass throughout the sand filtration system, which will remove the small particles out of the sewage water. Then they let it sit in a tank where they keep on flipping it. This flipping process will add oxygen to the tank. This oxygen will lead to growth of aerobic bacteria. This aerobic bacteria eats any organic matter in the sewage liquid. So the liquid will become without organic particles. After this, they let it pass filtration system, which will collect all the small residue again, and then they pass it throughout a UV filtration, which kills all the bacteria. And the final stage is let it pass throughout the carbon filter. This carbon filter collect all the chemicals, let's say the residue from shampoo or whatever is used in the sewage water. In this stage, the water become potable, drinkable. On Earth, we don't drink it, and astronauts, they drink it. So, in Masdar City, they use it for plantation. This is regarding the water. In addition, the sewage water. In addition to that, the water pressure, they minimize it by 54%, which led to the less use of the water inside the building per capita by 54%, as they put the outlet of each nozzle with a smaller dimension. This way you will feel the same pressure while showering. You will not see the difference, but they will reduce the water consumption. And in addition to that, they didn't stop here. They moved to a zero waste city, where they collect all the rubbish, all the waste from the houses, and they divide it into three categories. The first one is organic, where this organic rubbish, they use it and they store it for like 2 weeks. After storing it into 2 weeks, it becomes a compost. This compost, they use it for plantation, which will be like a fertilizer for them. In addition to that, everything that is recyclable, such as glass, paper, steel, they recycle it and they sell it to companies because a lot of companies buy it from them with a good amount of money. Regarding the non-recyclable product, they heat it and they burn it at a high temperature. While burning it, they produce methane gas. This methane gas is collected and then it could be used for cooking in the houses. It could be used to produce electricity and many other processes. Next one, please. Regarding the transportation and mobility, they issued a new concept regarding the transportation. So inside the city, as you can see, this is the car they use it. It's an automated car that runs on AI and on battery, so zero carbon emission. And also there is no driver, it's a driverless, AI drive it. Whenever the battery goes to drain, it goes back and recharge and then come back and run. So any person inside the city can open an application, same as Uber. You put the start point and the end point. So the car comes and collect you and drop you at the end point. In addition to that, they did some buses on on batteries that works on batteries also with zero carbon emission that takes you outside the city. If you want to go to Abu Dhabi or any nearby area, they can drop you there. And in addition to that, they didn't stop here. They did a 15-minute city. What is a 15-minute city? 15-minute city, you can reach anything essential in your life. Let's say hospital, school, work, pharmacy, whatever is needed within 15 minutes walking distance. And in addition to that, so they can make it feasible in UAE. As you know, here there is a hot weather. So they did the funneling and the ventilation, natural ventilation that my colleague already spoke about it. So in this way, people will be able to walk and reach any area without any issue. Please, the next one. Regarding the social and economic sustainability, to produce this 15-minute city, they need to find work for people. So people not to leave the city, they motivated a lot of international company, and one of them is Siemens, as you can see from the photo, to locate there. So now they have 600 company, and they are willing, international company, and they are willing to increase this number. In addition to that, they are helping every entrepreneur to start their companies there by giving them leads and how to start and step-by-step process. And in addition, they are giving funding to every company that is related to green energy or renewable energy to start there. And in addition to that, they did a lot of awareness campaign for the people, because as you all know, recycling cannot be done by company or government alone. It should start from every person's house. So they did an awareness campaign for the people. And in addition to that, they numbered, like for every house, they give them let's say 100 bags. Those 100 bags are numbered for this household, let's say room 100. So when they are doing the recycling, they check if room 100 did a good recycling, they give them a small incentive from the product that they are, from the recyclable materials that they are. So they give houses like small dishwashing product, some small soap, something basic, but as an incentive. And if the household is not following up the recycling process, they give him again the awareness program. Regarding the challenges and the future directions. So this city now holds 4,000 capita. They are willing to make it hold 50,000 capita. And this process is not easy at all, as they are not sure if the recycling of the sewage will be able to hold, if the recycling farms they already have, it will be able to hold. And they are not sure even if the renewable energy will be able to hold this amount of people. So this is one of the most biggest challenges they are facing. Regarding the renewable energy, now they are motivating companies, as I told you before, to come and ameliorate and improve the renewable energy and especially decrease their price, as their price is very expensive and they require a big area of the city to be able to cover and produce this amount of energy, as the weather is very extremely hot in the UAE. So they are willing to decrease their prices so it will be affordable and everyone can do it. And then their future plan is to let UAE be less dependent on the fossil fuel and be more dependent on the renewable energy. And to achieve this, they have again to decrease the prices and make it feasible. And their aim is to make all UAE sustainable and even spread it all over the world. Ephesus played a crucial role in the urban sustainability of Masdar City. Ephesus sealed all the air and ensured all the air tightness inside the buildings by using eco facade, which is a long-lasting product which lasts 50 plus years. So in this case, it will require, the buildings require less maintenance and require less cooling. In this case, less carbon footprint will be emitted. In addition to that, they didn't stop here. Currently, they are working on sealing all the, fixing all the infrastructure of the Masdar City by sealing the manholes, because currently when it rains, all the manholes are connected and the water passes from one manhole, from one electrical manhole to another one until it reaches the main stations, which happened previously when it rained a lot. So this one led to the turn off of the whole city. So currently they are using the stopper solution to prevent the water to pass from one manhole to another one. In addition to that, they are working on cements and tabrid and mist to building to seal their roof, because when was the rain, a lot of water dropped inside the building, which led to humidity and growth of bacteria. So currently they will seal and ensure that all the roofs are sealed. So this process will also lead to less carbon using, less ventilation needed. So this is it. Together we can create a sustainable future for our children. Let's do it. Thank you for your attention. Please, if you have any question, please feel free to ask.